Hi, my name's Jeremy Loke.
Hi, my name's Austin Bird.
And this is Panther News. For our top story is the 9/11's remembrance. This past Tuesday, September 11th, our students stood for a moment of silence to remember those lost in the 9/11 attacks.
This is because on September 11th, 2001, there were 3 terrorist attacks that shocked the nation. Now on to Jackson and Dylan with the story.
Hello, it's Jackson and Dylan with your September 11th news.
On September 11th, 2001, 19 militias associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States.
2 planes were flown into the World Trade Centers. One was flown to the Pentagon just outside Washington, D.C., and one was crashed in a field in Pennsylvania.
3,000 people were killed during 9/11 terrorist attacks, which triggered major U.S. initiatives to combat terrorism and define the presidency of George W. Bush.
Our country has never been the same. Every year on 9/11, we pay tribute to the ones that we lost.
Here at PikeView, the high school JROTC did a presentation. Let's look at a clip.
On September 11, 2001, at 8:46 a.m. on a clear Tuesday morning, an American Airlines Boeing 767 loaded with 20,000 gallons of jet fuel crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. At first, the plane crash was thought to be a freak accident, but the country would soon learn that this was not the case. The Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda would coordinate a series of 4 attacks, going down as the deadliest terrorist attack in world history and the most devastating attack on U.S. soil since the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. At 7:59 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 took off from Logan International Airport in Boston, Massachusetts, with 92 aboard, including 5 terrorists who hijacked the plane. Then at 8:46 a.m., the plane would crash into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The impact and subsequent fire caused the North Tower to collapse 102 minutes after the crash. At 8:14 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 also took off from Logan International Airport with 65 aboard, including the 6 hijackers. Flight 175's hijacking was coordinated with that of Flight 11's. Then 17 minutes after the first tower was struck, at 9:03 a.m., the South Tower was hit by Flight 175. The impact caused the South Tower to collapse 56 minutes after the crash. At 8:22 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 took off from Washington Dulles International Airport in Virginia with 64 aboard, including the 5 hijackers. Then 51 minutes after the first tower was hit, 14 minutes after the second, at 9:37 a.m., the hijackers deliberately crashed the plane into the Pentagon in Arlington County, Virginia, near Washington, D.C. At 8:42 a.m., United Airlines Flight 93 departed from Newark International Airport in New Jersey with 44 people aboard, including the 4 hijackers. The passengers learned of the 3 previous crashes through phone calls from friends and family members. They took a vote whether to act, resulting in the passengers attempting to overtake the cockpit. In 77 minutes after the first tower was hit, 66 minutes after the second, and 26 minutes after the Pentagon, at 10:03 a.m., the plane would crash in a field in Somerset, Pennsylvania. The 4th plane's intended target is unsure, but it is believed that it would have hit the White House or the Capitol if those passengers aboard hadn't heroically acted. The war on terror was a result of the 9/11 attacks, and the war still continues today. The United States military resumes operations in Afghanistan and Iraq, still seeking justice for those that took the lives of so many people. Those lives lost are represented by the 5 symbols laying in front of me. Each flag is placed in front of these symbols to honor those that died during and as a result of 9/11.
Now back to the studio.
Thank you for that report.
Award for the year 2018-2019 7th grade vice president and 7th grade representative.
My name is Xander Alvarez, and I'm running for student council president.
Hello, my name is Braxton Taylor. So I'm running for student council treasurer.
No, my name is official.
I'll be running for secretary.
So for those of you who don't know me, yes, I'm running for vice and president.
Big things come in small packages. So please, roll the meeting. Thank you very much. Reason why you should vote for me because I was trying to get talking in the lunch.
And the reason I believe I'm qualified to lead a new student council team is experience.
Let's go!
Those clips of the speeches given yesterday during AA Assembly. Our next story is student council elections with Santana and Olivia.
Hey, I'm Santana.
And I'm Olivia, reporting to you about student council elections.
Student council speeches will be on September 13th. The election will be September 14th.
Running for president are Xander Alvarez and Griffin Biggs.
Vice President, Griffin Biggs, Braxton Taylor, Bryce Ballinger, and Xander Alvarez.
Secretary is Abby Hedrick, Drake Kidd, and Richard Meadows.
Treasurer, Kaya Hall, Brett Bishop, Abby Hendrick.
6th grade reps, Braxton Taylor, Madison Harrison, Abby Smith, Abby Hedrick, Drake Kidd, Brett Bishop.
7th grade representatives, Justin Pasito, Bryce Ballinger, Kaya Hall, Brooke Posey.
8th grade reps, Mackenzie Johnson, Xander Alvarez, Griffin Biggs, Richard Meadows, Thomas Eastup. We interviewed a few of our candidates. Let's look at that film.
What would you like to see student council do for our school?
Well, personally, you know, the outdoor classroom was a really big project. I want to work on the next big project in line for future generations of students. And I really just want to make students' school life easier. I mean, it's as simple as that, but it's really important.
I think it'd be a good idea if we got a wrestling team, especially since the high school has one and we don't.
What do you feel makes you the best candidate?
I feel like I'd be the best candidate because I can talk to people, see their opinions, and get their opinions in to change the school.
What would you like to see student council do for our school?
I'd like to see the student council make school more enjoyable for students who don't like coming to school or don't like some of their classes.
What do you feel makes you the best candidate?
Because I've had experience with being treasurer of the school.
Now back to the studio.
Thanks for that update. Who do you think will win, Jeremy?
I don't know, Austin. If you like fresh air and freedom, then you will like our next story.
Now to the outdoor classroom with Caitlin and Brianna.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Brenna, and we're reporting to you on the outdoor classroom.
We interviewed Ms. Farmer last week, and here are some of her responses.
Student council 2 years ago came up with the idea.
It took 2 years of fundraising to come up with all the money.
Anybody can use it as long as your teacher signs up for it.
There will be picnic tables, whiteboards added to the space.
It'll be just like a normal classroom, only outside. Now back to the studio.
That story reminds me, I haven't seen sunlight in 6 months.
Thank you, Caitlin and Brianna, for that report. On a serious note, Hurricane Florence is battering our favorite beaches. Let's go over to Xander and Presley.
Hi, I'm Xander.
And I'm Presley.
This week, Hurricane Florence is hitting the East Coast. Coastal residents fleeing a potential devastating blow from Hurricane Florence encountered empty gasoline pumps and depleted store shelves.
As the monster storm near the Carolina coast with 140 miles per hour, it is producing drenching rains that could last for days.
The storm has weakened from a Category 5 to a 2 and hit the coast last night. Its size is both Carolinas combined.
We'll have more on next week's Panther News.
Now back to the studio.
Thanks for that report.
Now on to the cheerleaders with Skylar and Tyler.
Hi, I'm Skylar. I'm here with two of our cheerleaders, Hayden and Isabella. I'm going to ask y'all some questions. What is your favorite thing about cheerleading?
My favorite thing about cheerleading is probably something.
Mine is probably tumbling and being able to cheer the team on.
How long have you been cheering?
I've been cheering since I was 4.
I've been cheering since I was 2.
Have you taken gymnastics before?
Yes, I've spent 2 years at Dynasty.
I've done Dynasty for a year.
What's your hardest thing to do in cheer?
Probably stretching.
Probably being a flyer and being a face.
What's your favorite sport to cheer in?
Football.
Basketball, because you get to face the team and also.
Thank you for answering my question.
Here with our captains of the cheerleading team.
Mackenzie Carroll.
Amelia Butler. I'm going to ask y'all some questions. What is your favorite thing about cheerleading?
Mine is stunts and football games.
Mine is football game. How long have you been cheering?
3 years. 2 years.
Have you taken any gymnastics?
I did for about 1 year.
No, I taught myself.
What's your hardest thing to do in cheer?
Probably learning the new cheers.
I agree with Mackenzie.
What's your favorite sport to cheer in?
Football.
Both, like football and basketball.
Thank y'all for answering my questions.
Thank you for that report.
Man, what a great story. It reminds me of my fear of women.
Now on to sports with Ethan and JT.
Hi, I'm Zarian for JT.
And I'm Ethan.
Opening weekend of college football, West Virginia plays Tennessee in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Mountaineers defeated the Volunteers 40-14. Let's look at the clip.
With Will Greer. First down. Again, play fake, plenty of times. Throw is complete. T.J. Simmons down the sideline. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Touchdown. And again, got it all the way to the 33-yard line. Play action. Nice blitz pickup. Long ball. Sills. Touchdown. Greer takes another shot. This time he's done it. Gary Jennings, touchdown. Oh, man. Second down and 7. Possible blitz coming off the corner here for Tennessee. They're bringing it. And Greer's throwing the other way. Oh, what a catch by Jennings.
No, I know it's what a catch.
Kennedy McCoy in the lineup for the first time, I think, today in the backfield. Greer throws it to him in the flat for the touchdown. One play, one touchdown.
Also, during opening week, Virginia Tech hosted Florida State. The Hokies defeated the Seminoles 24-3.
In other action, opening week, Notre Dame took on Michigan. The Fighting Irish handled Big Blue 24-17.
Those were some big football games for opening week.
Last weekend, the Mountaineers took on Youngstown State. West Virginia cruised to a 52-17 victory behind Heisman Trophy hopeful Will Greer. Will Greer threw for 332 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Virginia Tech crushed William and Mary last weekend, 62-17. The Hokies and Mountaineers are idle this weekend due to Hurricane Florence.
In local news, last week, PikeView Panthers destroyed Mountain View 44-8.
This weekend, many local games are being canceled and rescheduled due to Hurricane Florence. Our Panthers were able to play Bluefield last night. Let's go to that clip.
25, breaks a couple of tackles, and look at him go! He could go all the way! Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
In the ball game.
Tuesdays, our boys cross country team placed first at the meet at Big Ditch Lake. Braden Ward and Caleb Blankenship placed first and second.
Our soccer team is off to a 3-0 start by defeating Princeton 6-0, Bluefoot 5-0, and Mount View 7-2.
Our Lady Panthers volleyball team started their season with a victory over Bluefield.
Looks like our teams are off to a great start.
Now back to the studio.
Thank you for that report. It sure does look like we got some good teams this year.
It sure does. Now over to Tyler and Chance with Entertainment News.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Chance, and we're going to be delivering this week's entertainment news. On September 7th, PS4's Marvel Spider-Man releases. It's a PS4 exclusive and follows Peter Parker as he defends New York City from a new threat.
Don't worry, PC and Xbox users. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming out in October. The multiplayer beta was in August. The Black Ops beta started September 10th for PS4 and Xbox, and PC it comes out on the 15th. It ends the 17th on all platforms.
We now send it to Bodie for an update on Fortnite.
This is Bodie here reporting on Fortnite. Fortnite, the very popular game, is losing players because of new games like Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Realm Royale. They're making a lot less money than they used to, because they're changing the game too much. They are removing the revolver and other weapons. They also nerfed the shotgun, so lots of people are getting rid of the game, or just not putting money into it like they used to. New players don't play as much because experienced players are everywhere. Zero Trend says that Fortnite is fast-paced fun, but does not make the most of the Battle Royale. Now back to entertainment news.
Thanks, Bodie. Now to movies. A young orphan named Louis Barneveld helps his magical uncle in locating a clock with the power to destroy the world. That's what The House with a Clock in Its Walls story revolves around. It releases September 21st. Here's the trailer.
Here we are, home sweet home, a house where magic lives.
Please teach me, please, please.
Okay, have it your way.
Magic comes from the inside.
Now it looks like you're pooping.
I don't want the creepy little runt. Think I want him? Lucky shot.
You've told Louis everything?
Not everything.
The House with a Clock in Its Walls. Rated PG.
Wow.
That's all we have for movies. Now to music.
On September 7th, Lenny Kravitz released Raised Vibrations. Eminem released Kamikaze on August 31st. Lastly, on September 7th, Paul McCartney from the legendary rock band The Beatles released Egypt Station. This is the first album he released in years. Next to the meme of the week.
Mr. Curry's going to guess for this one. That's all we have for this week of entertainment news.
Now back to the studio.
Thank you for that report. Those games really do look fun. Which one do you think you might get, Austin?
I don't know. There's so many to choose from.
Well, now on to Jason and Xander with Labor Day history.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And this is Xander.
Last week we got our first day off from school, and you can thank Labor Day for that. Labor Day happens the first Monday in September. Every year was created by the labor movement in the late 19th century and became a federal holiday in 1884.
On Labor Day, the U.S. Department of Labor celebrates and honors the greatest workers in the world, the American workers.
Peter J. McGuire stood before the New York Central Labor Union on May 12, 1882, to suggest the idea of setting aside one day a year to honor labor.
But Peter McGuire's place in Labor Day history has been challenged. Many believe that Matthew McGuire, a machinist, not Peter McGuire, founded the holiday. Recent research seems to support the connection that Matthew McGuire founded Labor Day.
Later in 1882, the secretary of Local 344 of the International Association of Machinists in Paterson, New Jersey, proposed the holiday.
The first Labor Day was celebrated on Tuesday, September 5th, 1882, in New York City, in accordance with the plans of the Central Labor Union. The Central Labor Union held the second Labor Day holiday just a year later on September 5th, 1883.
The character of the Labor Day celebration has undergone a change in the recent years, especially in large industrial centers where mass displays and huge parades have proved a problem in the workforce.
That's sad for them, but at least we get a day off from school.
Now back to the studio.
Thanks for that report.
That's all we got this week for Panther News.